When people hear Iran today, they think of politics, conflict, headlines. But before Iran, there was Persia, an empire older than Rome, stronger than Greece, a civilization that once ruled nearly half the known world, and even after it fell, it never truly disappeared. (550 BC). The world was ruled by brutal empires. The Assyrians ruled through fear. The Babylonians ruled through dominance. Then a king from a small Persian tribe changed history. His name was Cyrus the Great. When he conquered Babylon in 539 BC, he didn't burn it. He didn't enslave its people. Instead, he allowed them to keep their religion, their traditions, their identity. He even allowed exiled communities to return home. Instead of ruling through terror, he ruled through tolerance. And it worked. Within decades, Persia stretched from modern-day India to Egypt to the edge of Greece. It became the first true multi-ethnic empire in history. After Cyrus, kings like Darius I expanded and organized the empire even further. Darius divided the empire into provinces, built massive infrastructure, created the Royal Road stretching over 2,500 kilometers. Messages could cross continents faster than ever before. By 500 BC, Persia ruled nearly half the known world. Before Rome, before Alexander, there was Persia. But here's something important. When we say Persia, and when we say Iran, we're talking about the same civilization. The name Persia comes from a region in the southwest called Parsa, homeland of kings like Cyrus the Great. That's the name the Greeks used, and through them, it became the name the Western world adopted. But the people who lived there used a different name. They called their land Iran, meaning land of the Iranians. That name appears in royal inscriptions centuries later, especially during the Sasanian Empire. So internally, it was always Iran. Externally, it was known as Persia. Centuries passed. Dynasties rose and fell. Then, in 1935, under Reza Shah, the country formally asked the international community to use the name Iran instead of Persia. It wasn't a new country. It was an ancient civilization reclaiming its original name. But Persia's true power wasn't just conquest. It was connection. The empire became a bridge between East and West. Trade moved from India to Egypt. Ideas flowed across continents. Under Persian rule, different cultures weren't erased. They were preserved. Each province was governed by a satrap, a local governor who understood regional customs. Religions were respected. Languages were allowed to survive. Imagine ruling dozens of cultures without forcing them to become identical. That was Persia's genius. It wasn't just an empire. It was a system designed for diversity. In 330 BC, Alexander the Great defeated Persia. He didn't destroy its system. He adopted it. He kept Persian administrators, used Persian tax systems, wore Persian royal clothing, because it worked. Later empires, including Rome, would follow similar models. Provincial governance, infrastructure networks, central administration over vast territories. Persia created the blueprint for ruling diversity at scale. Empires fell, but the Persian model survived. In the 7th century, everything changed. Arab-Muslim armies defeated the Sasanian Empire. Zoroastrian Persia, the last great pre-Islamic empire, collapsed. For the first time in over 1,000 years, Persia was no longer ruled by Persian kings. And with the conquest came Islam. Persia did not disappear. It transformed. The Persian people gradually adopted Islam, but they reshaped it through their own culture, language, and intellectual traditions. Persian scholars became some of the greatest thinkers of the Islamic Golden Age. Persian became a major literary language across the Islamic world. from Anatolia to India. And even after adopting Islam, Persians preserved their ancient past. In the 10th century, Ferdowsi wrote the Shahnameh, over 50,000 lines long. It told the story of Persia's pre-Islamic kings and heroes. It kept ancient memory alive. This wasn't rejection. It was synthesis. Islam became Persian, and Persia became Islamic. Then in the 16th century, under the Safavid dynasty, Iran officially became a Shia Muslim state, shaping its religious identity up to today. Modern Iran is not a break from Persia. It is Persia, transformed through conquest, religion, poetry, and survival. Empires fell, religion changed, but the civilization endured. Now we return to the present. Modern Iran is the inheritor of ancient Persia. Despite invasions by Greeks, Arabs, Mongols, and others, the Persian language endured. Nowruz, the Persian New Year, is still celebrated every spring, just as it was thousands of years ago. Persepolis still stands as a symbol of identity. Cyrus is still remembered. And for millions of Iranians, Persia is not distant history. It is continuity. It is heritage. It is memory. When people look at modern headlines, they often forget something. Iran is not just a modern state. It is one of the oldest continuous civilizations on Earth. Governments change. Borders shift. Politics evolve. But civilizations endure. Persia endured. And its legacy is everywhere, in how empires govern, in how cultures coexist, in poetry that still moves millions, in a people who still remember who they are. That is why Persia still matters. Not because it ruled the world, but because it shaped it. Before Rome, before Europe rose, before the modern world, there was Persia, and in many ways, there still is. If you enjoyed this documentary, make sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss the next story. Peace.